A yellow. Welcome back, everybody. We are in our last match for the Swiss. So we decided. Sorry, I really wanted to see a particular deck because
Interesting.
interesting. What could it be?
Yeah.
It is a deck by the dangest Mr. Karl Dang, who has brought 5-color artifact combo with like a really curious setup of cards. They both have.
The playmat game is on point here.
That is hilarious. I think Karl is on top.
Yes, Karl is on top.
What is that? That is
Also,
so
our
funny.
camera feed just froze.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I
Oh
think
my
that
god, he just truly hover-handed.
he just.
You get to change all the names again.
I do get to change all the names, but I also
What's your favorite part?
no, actually not.
Alright. So, round 6 of Swiss, we're gonna be watching, Karl Dang, like we said, and then Alexander Streubel. Let me just quickly check the deck list. So, Karl Dang, we've established as on a 5-color artifact combo. Very interesting to see that, especially for Gerion.
Yes.
And then I think we had Gruul Monsters as the deck of choice for Mr. Alexander.
So before I talk about artifacts, why don't you tell us a little bit about the monsters and why they are...
Gruul Monsters. Oh boy, I love talking about Gruul Monsters. So Gruul Monsters, Gruul of course, red and green, a color combination that is very good at playing boys that attack and attack hard, and then finishing the opponent off with a bit of burn spells. The kind of play pattern for this game, for this deck is normally, that's specifically the monsters part, is you like to go turn 1 mana elf, mana dork, something like a Llanowar elves, a Birds of Paradise, an ignoble hierarch, something like that. And then that gets you access to an extra mana so that on turn 2 you can play a 3-drop already. And a 3-drop that is a big boy that attacks. That could be something like Alalia, that could be Magus of the Moon to shut your opponent off from playing the game. That could be something like, just like a 4/4 trample for 3. Like there's a bunch of those floating around.
What's the Gruul Monsters pilot's name?
The Gruul Monsters pilot's name is Alexander Streubel.
Alexander Streubel.
No A.
But an R?
R-E-U.
Streubel.
Yes.
Okay,
Very
Alexander
good.
Streubel, and then he's on Gruul
He's
Monsters.
on Gruul Monsters.
So, play a dork, play a big guy.
Play a mana dork, play a big guy, exactly.
Face. On the other hand, we have artifact combo. Artifact combo is, as the name implies, a combo deck. I just missed it. I just missed who won the die roll, but we'll see. Where you want to play a bunch of mana rocks.
So it's like Gruul Monsters, right? You play some mana rocks and then
Yeah.
you play a big like
A threat.
A threat? Like
Exactly. Just that the threat immediately wins you the game in the best case. Right now we see, oh my god, we start with Fast Bond.
That's a big one.
Fast Bond. So Fast Bond means you can play any number of lands if you pay 1 life for each land beyond the first. And we immediately play 2 more lands.
Lovely.
That's so
helping Gruul Monsters out, I would say. So dealing 3 damage even with the fetch.
yes. So that's why I really love
Round
artifact
timer.
combo. Round timer.
Yeah.
Let me just get that.
Was that 55?
Properties.
Yes. Excelente.
That's it. Nice.
Alright.
What I oh, and we got the talisman
Got a
of
talisman of
we'll see. Talisman
Brazilians? I think
Nice
that's
call.
I think that's a Brazilian.
It is Brazilians.
Yeah.
So Gruul wants to ramp a little bit. Artifact wants to grab as
Land
hard
and
as
pass.
actually possible.
Oh my god.
Ramp so hard. Oh my god, and we got the Zoran Orb. So one of the possible combos for artifact combo is a Zoran Orb, Fast Bond, and Crucible of Worlds. Zoran
Damn,
Orb
Karl, man. How did you even go 1-4 with this? This is looking incredible.
is going insane. So Zoran Orb lets you sacrifice lands for 2 life. Fast Bond lets you play so many different lands, and Crucible of Worlds lets you play cards from your graveyard. And with that, you have an infinite combo because you get to play your card from your graveyard, sack it again for Zoran Orb, gain 2 life, play it again from your graveyard, sack it again, gain 2 life. So you gain infinite life, but you also can tap the lands before you sacrifice them. So you also get infinite mana. And then, honestly, the world is your oyster.
That's right.
There is in his list is an actual factual Staff of Domination.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways he can use infinite mana. Very old school win condition.
Oh yeah.
This was a Commander All-Star when the EDH format was created. I don't think anybody plays this card ever.
No.
Like, it's literally useless unless you have infinite mana.
Yes, I do play it, I believe, in my Tishana Elf Ball deck, which does make infinite mana. So
And there's the Crucible. He had...
Wow, he had the Crucible.
No, he didn't have the Crucible. He found it via the Talisman. The Claw.
I don't know what these cards do. This is...
Wishclaw Talisman.
Wishclaw.
So he had Wishclaw Talisman. Which claw? This claw.
And then Time Twister as well?
Sorry.
So
what is happening?
Why is he time twisting when he could be replaying? Oh, okay, I guess it doesn't matter. But
Okay. So what's happening right now is that the players have already discussed. Hello, hi. I have infinite mana.
Yes, I've demonstrated a loop where I have infinite life because I sack all my lands to Zoran Orb, gain life, and then replay them with the Crucible.
Exactly. So Alexander Streubel has a lot of fun setting the life total to a bajillion. While Karl Deng uses his infinite mana in order to cast a Time Twister. So now...
Game 2?
I mean, he still has to demonstrate how he wins.
He does have to demonstrate how he wins.
Because the beauty of Artifact Combo is that it is not necessarily... what's the word?
It is not deterministic.
Thank you. It is not deterministic. So now, so now Karl is going to draw 7 new cards, and has to hope that in those 7 cards is something that gets him to more stuff, because he can just brick and find 3 talismans and 3 lands.
I'm not even sure that is the case. I mean, at this point, he has the combo. Yeah. Okay. He just hard with the Emrakul. Oh my god. And that's a game. So if you haven't seen this card before, can't be countered. Not that Gruul was going to counter it anyway. When you take it, you time walk, get an extra turn. It's a 15/15 flying, protection from basically everything. Annihilator 6, so when it attacks, your opponent sacrifices 6 cards. And then a text that doesn't matter, but yeah.
So how does Karl Deng not be like on 5-0? I don't understand. It's the best deck.
Yeah, if you do this, then it's very powerful. It can also be rather anemic. Like if you have a draw where you kind of just rip artifacts, that tap for mana, but you have nothing to do with them. That's where you end up. But I'm very glad you got paid off for putting this on camera immediately.
Absolutely. I do wonder what kind of game actions did Alexander take in this game?
I think he played 1/2 drop and that was it. But it looked like a really rough hand from as well. There.
Yeah,
he was on the draw. He didn't have a 1 drop, and that just gets you so far behind. Like to be clear, like maybe talking about roles in this game, because it's always important to identify who is asking the questions, right, and who is in a position to just answer them. Definitely Karl Deng asking the questions here and being like, are you gonna stop me? Are you fast enough? Are you doing something that I care about? Cool. If not, then I'm just gonna play solitaire with my little rocks here over in the corner.
He does have.
I'm gonna gain infinite life, and I'm gonna cast Emrakul the Aeon's Torn.
He does have some. So
kill you.
It's a curious matchup to discuss via the lens of like who's asking the question, who's answering them, because Karl Deng does have also the access of trying to answer Alexander's entire game plan with cards like Thopter Sword combo, or with
I mean, infinite life through Zoran Fastball Crucible is one of them. Yeah. Bridge from Below, really? He's on that?
He's definitely on Bridge from Below. No, but he is certainly on Ensnaring Bridge.
Okay, that's an offensive artwork to me.
That is, sorry. It truly is. Let's go with this one.
That's also wrong.
No, but Ron Spencer is never wrong. Ron Spencer is never wrong. I know it's white border. It's
We should
7
probably Google Ron Spencer. You never know if there's a controversy.
Okay, we can go with this one. That's
Yes, that's the one.
fine.
Look at that bridge.
Look at that bridge.
Jared was expecting a fight, but he didn't expect it from the building himself. Think about that.
I think Jared didn't actually think about it.
Jared?
Gerard.
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 Gerard. Also we see on Gruul, we do see a 1-drop. So I think now it's going to be on
That's
Alexander
super
to
important.
explode.
Like, we were talking earlier about how Ragavan has fallen off. This is a matchup where Ragavan definitely still very powerful because
Yeah.
it gets through. It's uncontested, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe something that we haven't talked about, Karl Dang probably on like 3 creatures if there's any in his deck.
Yeah, and maybe
And
4
one of them
removals.
is Trinket Mage, which just finds an artifact and like yeah, exactly. Like his removal package is extremely light. He's
Yeah.
probably just on the best of the best.
Yeah, maybe even
maybe
just on
like swords and the P hole and
Yeah.
prismatic ending or something like
who
that.
knows.
Yeah,
Very
but
little. Very
extremely
minimal.
little, like just enough to get rid of those opposition agents or whatnot that might
Yeah.
ruin your day.
Which is why
you
you
can't swords a Shadow of Doubt though.
Damn.
Dang, even.
Dang. Dang, even. Are we seeing a hand of Mind Stone, an extra turn spell, a talisman?
It's an Academy Ruins, I think.
That is maybe an Academy Runes. I see one card that I can't quite identify. I guess he mulliganed once. So one thing of note is that what we just saw from Karl Dang, that's the insane. That's the nuts.
Yeah,
like he literally he had
He
two,
vamp tutored every.
No, yeah, he vamp tutored every turn. He had 2 of his combo pieces.
Yeah.
One of them being fast bond, which is insane. Had 3 lands with his fast bond. Had the tutor for his 3rd combo piece, and then had a draw 7 for if he has infinite.
I mean that draw 7 was like even that was the icing on the cake because
Yeah.
I think the game was essentially over, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He had virtually infinite life.
Yeah.
And Gruul monsters cannot beat that.
No.
Like even if they would go to draw every 100 cards that are in their deck, Gruul monsters could not put out enough creatures to
No.
beat literally infinite life.
We do see the Ragavari.
There's the Ragavizi.
Um,
Getting in, making a treasure, and stealing what? I missed that.
no, I don't think he has stolen anything yet. I think
Okay.
he's just stealing that right now. A land from the top.
Might have been a land there.
Yeah. So that's a treasure, I assume, the secret lair thing.
Yes.
I still find it so ridiculous that these people
They both have the exact same playmat.
that they have the.
And they align so well. Like
Yes, I know.
it's beautiful.
I
Quick shout out, to the players. Let's
my
get
guess is-
Ragavan on screen, by the way.
Ah,
what
Ragavan.
does Ragavan do?
What does Ragavan not?
The monkey.
Here. So when he deals combat damage to a player, Alexander gets a treasure token, and then which ramps him. Beautiful.
Yes.
Nice. And then he gets a card from Karl Dang and gets to cast that. Notably, not the greatest deck to get cards from, but also
Not
not the
necessarily,
worst
but,
because you do get maybe a ramp. Speaking of ramp, there is a Lelia, so the pressure is very on.
We do have an enlightened tutor on the side of
Oh.
Karl, which is going to find him the best artifact or enchantment in his deck. Probably going to be an artifact, and put it on top of his deck.
On top of his deck.
I guess in Highlander this always gets Soul Ring probably in this spot, but we don't have access to Soul Ring. That one is too powerful, so I'm very interested what he's going to find here.
Because like he there are many different routes to go now, right?
So many, yeah.
He has Oath of Druid in his deck.
Right, that's an Oath of Druids.
I didn't see that. I thought, I mean, it's not a bad card. But I'm also he has his list is the creatures he has are Sun Titan, Emrakul, and another big creature.
Never mind. So the 3 creatures that he is playing are actually big guys.
Big guys.
Oh my god, no! Is this match gonna be over in five minutes?
Oh,
I mean,
please no! I mean, then we can get someone else.
he does have to cast this Oath of Druids first, and then
Yeah.
and
then-
Alexander gets a turn cycle, including a Ragavan hit, a Lelia hit, and whatever he draws to potentially deal with this Oath of Druids. And Gruul monsters, while it struggles very much against big threats, as we were talking about earlier with Red Deck Wins, if your opponent presents like a Baragoyf, that's a real problem. But definitely Gruul, because of the green splash, or not splash, it's probably base green, has the tools to deal with enchantments. You might have a Canker Bloom, you might have a Green Sun Zenith for a Canker Bloom, you might be on Haywire Might. So he definitely still has outs, but it never feels great when your opponent is okay. That's a Spire of Industry, not an Academy Rules, like I said earlier.
Right.
So definitely, Alexander does have the tools to deal with this Oath of Druids. But yeah, to anyone who hasn't seen this stupid card before, Oath of Druids has a lot of text that's very difficult.
Let's get the OG printing, of course.
So don't bother reading this text. What it actually says doesn't. It's complex. What the card says is, at the beginning of your upkeep, if anybody has more creatures in play than you, you can decide to activate it. And what that means is you flip cards from the top of your deck until you hit a creature. And then that creature gets into play for free, and the cards that you flipped all go in your graveyard.
Exactly.
So this is a great tool for something like big reanimator decks, which just play this, and your opponent who's on like incidental creatures or attacking you with creatures, as aggro decks are wont to do, they're going to provide you with this trigger at least once. And can't really avoid it.
And in our case, sorry, I'm really on the side of the artifact deck here because I identify with this wholeheartedly.
Like, come on, root for.
I mean, I am rooting.
Gruul. We want game 3. You want to see more artifacts?
I do.
Exiling.
Scouting Time, another one.
So unlucky.
Yeah. I think because artifact combo really doesn't need creatures necessarily. I think there's some beautiful creatures to play in that deck. I like my my artificers, but
that's an Iggy. That's not a Canker Bloom.
That's not a Canker Bloom.
Oh my god!
But because you can choose to not play any creatures, and then
just be over.
You can play Oath and play nah. Okay, he has to shuffle that back in later. Okay.
Funny.
Is it Emrakul?
I mean, the hits are, what do we say? Emrakul, Sun
Titan, and another creature.
Maybe like a Golos or an Urza?
Maybe Urza. I think he might be on Urza also. Mm-hmm. Which would be, like, Urza would be a bad hit here.
This is milling a lot as well. Like, the mill is just a kind of an incidental part of this card, which is also very good because this deck, I'm certain, is going to play a lot of cards like Savine's Reclamation, for example, which are able to get something back out of your graveyard. And so putting cards in your graveyard is, in a way, giving you a lot of access to them.
There's Emrakul. Yeah. Okay, so
does
he got
not get the cast trigger, but
15/15 Annihilator 6, I think, is quite fine.
Yeah.
So we have a very, very small deck.
That is a tiny deck.
That's like 20
that's
cards.
Not even a limited deck.
No, I think so. He is on 12 life. I don't think that's gonna make a difference though.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it would have to be some huge card combination that gets him out of this.
The big thing for Alexander could be if Alexander gets something that makes a bunch of tokens, so that he can threaten to attack balance.
Oh my god. Put out the balance. Pull it up.
So balance is the other completely unreasonable card that exists, because it says each player chooses basically for land, hand size, and creatures, and then you just all go down to the lowest number of those things. So everybody sacrifices all but one creature, everybody sacrifices all but 2 lands, and everybody discards cards in hand until they have, I think, 2. I'm not sure.
We don't know the exact number, but
and honestly, whatever. Right now, it is Lelia holding the fort.
Lelia versus the world.
Holding the fort on Zendikar.
It's gonna get sacrificed as soon as
She is from Zendikar also, right?
She is probably from Zendikar. I mean, she looks like she'd be chilling with Nahiri.
Like Blade Reforged, right?
Yeah.
Like Stoneblade. I feel like it's giving very. Although Spirit Warrior, who knows? Yeah, thank you. We are seeing.
That's a Grim Lavamancer, I think. No. That's a concede.
We see a concession.
That's rough. I mean, hitting specifically Emrakul was also just so unbeatable. If you hit a Sun Titan there, I think you definitely still have a chance on Gruul Monsters to get in there and try and fight back with
There's the Sun Titan.
those two burn
He's showing
spells.
us the other flips, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
So-
you got your wish, sir.
I get my wish. I mean, it definitely delivered. I do. So how about this? I want to get him in for a post-game interview.
Yeah.
Are you fine with maybe checking in if anybody wants to hop in?
That sounds great. Yeah. We'll see quickly if somebody maybe feels like hopping on the game afterwards, so that we have something else to commentate. To the one question in chat about Ragavan, that is correct. It can't cast spells, so you can only it can only cast spells, so you can't play lands with it. I don't know if that happened at some point. If it did, and we missed it, I'm sorry. We have a lot going on, but I think for the most part the players know what they're doing, and they're not going to miss that kind of stuff. It didn't look like playing an extra land there would have been particularly relevant, though. That was extremely one-sided. And I think Gerion is out there in the trenches right now checking out if one of these, well, I guess Karl Dang, the Dangster, would be happy to give a little post-game interview, and then we'll see if we can snag somebody for the end of the round.
You find hopping out, checking for people?
Oh, right, I can hop out and check for people. All right, I'll put on a very brief screensaver.
All right, Karl, come sit with me. GG. There was really something else. Walk us through your experience of that game.
Yeah. Maybe let's start, as you said. I'm like one of the last people,
Yes, you
last
are, I
ranked
think-
people.
You're now 2-4?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the one was a buy. The other
Oh
one.
my god. Okay. Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
tough.
So, but then again, obviously that deck has potential, but it's
Yeah.
not really consistent. And you're missing time. You have a lot more diverse removal. But most of the time, this day at least, it was really bad hands.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
mulligan 4, I had mulligan 3,
Yeah.
and it was always clear decisions. So either at no mana or like only.
Only mana, yeah.
And it was really clear decision. Nothing to
no,
dispute,
like it
nothing.
was, yeah.
So what you just saw now is like, I think, 2 of my 3 best games today. Like second turn twister possibility, which I denied because I got the rings. This is really insane. And then to top deck directly into Emrakul, right? So yeah, third turn kill, yes.
Yes, exactly. That was mwah.
That was on point, yeah. I would have been really happy with a second turn twister, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the advantage I had,
Yeah.
he didn't do anything in the first round that was huge. And he was really bad, as he told me, because he didn't get a second mana
Yeah.
to play the Bojizu. So he couldn't even
Oh.
disenchant.
Yeah, to disrupt your combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had nothing. So
Yeah.
that was pure insane. So
Yeah.
first round, really, that's why I'm playing the game and
Yeah.
that deck,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's old school, and especially I wanted to play the Twister, right? It's
The time twister.
yes,
Yes. I mean, you got an OG time twister. That's very nice.
yes. So-
yeah.
That's nice. Second game, honestly, that was like first one was pure luck. Secondly, was even more pure luck.
Yeah.
My first mulligan was, I think, a clear choice. Oh, for me, a clear choice.
Yeah.
The second hand wasn't. It was technically that was a bad hand.
Yeah. You had talisman. You had
And a lot of mana into Sun Titan.
Yeah.
I had to put.
Oh, you had the Sun Titan in your hand.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's why you I think you have. I saw your list. I think you have Sun Titan, Emrakul, and Urza.
Urza.
Yeah. Right.
Urza. Yeah. So yeah, so the idea why I kept the hand was to get some value with a Titan,
Yeah.
and to get it relatively fast to put him under pressure and deny him. But then again, I had an Ancient 2, which would have been a lot of life.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, really a tough decision. And I think technically it was wrong. But I was like, okay, I'm one game ahead and I don't want to go down to 5.
Yeah.
And then I drew the Enlightened Tutor,
Yeah.
and basically that was the game, right?
Yeah, because you get the
and I had also the white artifact land, and the multicolored land in hand. So, and by the way,
which is the beauty of 5-color, right? Like, as in you struggle so much with your mana base, especially in artifacts, because you play 5 one-color lands, which is just like super ass, and you play so many colorless lands also, which is also super ass, and then you rip the Spire of Industry.
It's total nuts. To be fair, that deck is like my old Academy deck, and I tried to keep it as much as possible. But without Academy, it's really too slow.
Really bad, yeah.
And even all these mana artifact lands, I thought about, why do I keep them? Because I play the mocks for that, and it's like with all the artifacts, and there are some but technically it's bad.
But I've been tinkering also a lot with artifact combo. I am like, of course, on Paradox Engine and stuff like that, but I have gone down on all my artifact lands because it's not Affinity. We don't have Academy. The only thing that it really super synergizes with is the Mox Opal and the Paradox Engine, I suppose. But otherwise, it's really like, I don't think you're on Clan Ironworks at all.
Yep. Right.
So like, why even have them? Was my thought in the end.
And the reason for that is laziness. Because I didn't want to take them out, and it made some minor sense. Right? So I'm honest.
I also like that how you are on so many extra turn spells.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. Why are you? Why the extra turns?
So in the past, and again, that is also related to Academy, right?
Yeah.
It was really like extra land drop. And for me, it was with Oath in connection. To be fair, I'm not sure if I keep playing that deck after today. But then again, it really makes fun. And it's most of the time, it's maybe I'm 40 to 60 or 45. But it's fun. Yeah. But if I think about it, maybe some cantrips would be better. But then again, one of the reasons why I still keep playing them, I still play Planeswalker. Yeah. And with them, it's super nice. Yeah. So it's really convenient. And
I think
I seldomly felt bad about them.
About the extra, you seldomly felt bad. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I haven't tried them at all. I would really like next time I'm doing changes to my version. I'll probably try that because I think that is very interesting. I do find that when you definitely have these days with this kind of deck where you just feel like this is the worst deck in the format. Yeah. Why am I even doing this, right? And maybe today is the day for you. Like,
we got you on camera for the absolute highlight.
And again, it was like the best 2 games I had in a row.
Yeah.
But I do think it does have a lot of potential in it. It just is like such a fickle mistress.
Yes, and to be fair, like basically every other deck got more and more good cards, and this one I think I put the One Ring in. Obviously, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not entirely sure, and I put much effort into that. So
you do or you do not?
I did not.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, what major other cards are there? I don't know.
I also like not many. There are some, I guess, Paradox Engine, but that's also like so old by now. There's some cards like I really like Moon Silver. No, Moon Silver Key is insane. No, I'm talking about a card for 1 blue. You can tap it and tap another artifact to add a colorless. Yeah. That with Winter Orb, really funny. Because you can tap the Winter Orb in your opponent, so you untap and then they don't untap.
No, I get the point. The question is where you put that deck directional wise.
And for me, directional wise, I really like to think about this deck then
in the Paradox Engine.
In the more prison-y. Like going a little bit more into a prison direction than into a.
The balance I just drew
Yeah.
was one of those key cards I just put into when I remembered, wait a minute, they allowed the card.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Balance is legal.
I had to put it in it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
obviously, I played Crucible and everything,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had to play it.
Dude, balance is such a busted card in Artifacts
Yes.
also. Tell us real quick, do others are setting up?
Yeah, they're ready. They're playing.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I didn't want to stop you from talking about artifacts.
Yeah,
but
okay.
they're
I
different
do
games.
have one more question about the playmats that you both were
Yeah.
playing. So are you from Berlin? Are you from the area where you're
no,
from?
I'm from Berlin. We have a play group of Magic player playing
Nice.
since Ice Age.
Sick. Sick.
So we just learned that there was a meme like people think of, I don't know, Ice Age whatever. Like
Yeah.
that was 20 years ago, right? No, it was not. The Jitter came out 20 years ago, and we were like, Jitter is not really that old. Okay, 20 years.
Isn't Jitter already modern magic?
Yeah. So we're an old playing group. We started
Yeah.
with Vintage, then went to
Sick,
Legacy. We played a lot, and Highlander is currently our only tournament format we
Yeah.
are playing.
Yeah.
Partially because we want to play all the old formats
Yeah,
and all the
yeah.
cards,
Yeah.
like the Time Twister.
Cool.
So, and the reason for this group,
Yeah.
the people you saw there, that was like the present for one of the guys when he got 50.
That's so cool.
and
Yeah, sick.
yeah.
That's really nice. Well, thank you very much for coming around. Karl, it was a pleasure. Thank you for telling us about the...
And thanks for putting me in the spotlight when I had a good game.
Yeah! Hey, that's what we're here for. We bring the joy.
There's commentator's curse and then there's commentator's luck.
Blessing.
Be fair, like,
Manifested it.
I was playing against a friend, right?
Yeah.
And that was like, he knew that those were the best games I had.
Yeah, so that's, I think it's kind of beautiful. That's very nice. All right, we're going to switch over to the next game.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for playing, and I'll see you around.
Bye-bye.